you wish for. David Moyes is an established Premier League manager. Fair enough.
Shut up with the be careful what you wish for. I'm so sick of that phrase. I'm sick of it. Honestly, TalkSport. The West Ham way doesn't exist, apparently. I was asked to react to this by a subscriber by the name of Udaya Raja. I hope I've pronounced that correctly, my friend. But thank you for bringing this to my attention. I haven't watched it yet, but I see the title and I was like, oh, here we go. Here we go. This is about to be some BS. And it is from a person named Kweku Afari and my boy Matisse. Now, I don't know Kweku. I might have seen his face somewhere. I don't know where he's from, like what channel he does, or if he's just TalkSport. That's on me, not him. I'm sure he's doing really well for himself. So shout out to him. But obviously, shout out to my boy Matisse. But I may have to cook you. I was round your house just days ago, and you never said any of this to me. So I'm hoping that you was our defender in this. I hope you defended the West Ham way against Kweku. Let's see. Let's find out and react to this. Boy, this is going to be fun. Okay, let's check it out.
Kweku, do you fear for Graham Potter's future?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Sometimes fit's a thing in football, right? And I think Graham Potter at a team like Brentford or when he was at Brighton, it worked. At West Ham, it's you have to have a bit of personality as well, a certain type of personality to succeed.
Did David Moyes have personality? Or was he just a really, really good coach?
He's just a really, really good coach. And ultimately, West Ham fans hounded him out. Like he won a trophy, consistently finished in the top 6 or top 7, and West Ham fans weren't having him. And for Graham Potter, it's been a tough.
Okay, let's just stop there, right? Let's just stop there. We've already got into our first nonsense from Kweku here. Non-West Ham fans love to do this. They do this all the time. He's just said a statement there that he consistently finished in the top 6, 7, won a trophy, and West Ham fans wanted him out. How's that for context? Madness. They seem to genuinely forget Moyes' last 2 seasons in the Premier League. They seem to genuinely forget that we lost by 6 to Arsenal, 5 to Palace, 5 to Chelsea, 5 to Fulham. Conceding 5, 6s, 4s on a regular basis in his last season, when they were roasting us for it and how bad we were. And now all of that's gone. None of that happened. He was just 5th and 6th and 7th and trophies, and we wanted him out. Make that make sense. It's selective memories from people just to sit there and, beat West Ham fans with a stick. That's all that is. So, first bit of misinformation we have here.
Start, right? Not just the beginning of this season, the back end of last season, they were really, really poor. And if you're one of those 3 promoted sides that are trying to break the trend of the sides coming up, going down, you're looking at West Ham as being vulnerable. And you look at West Ham in the first 2 games of this season, so poor. And the Sunderland game was concerning. The Chelsea game, I don't even think Chelsea played that well. I was kind of frustrated with our performance in terms of the lack of fluidity at points. But West Ham made it really, really easy, and there's no bite there. Look at the transfer window as well. He's not been helped. They brought in El Hadj Diouf as effectively a wing back. You brought in Carl Walker-Peters on a free, another wing back. Tadibo was there last season on a loan, but they confirmed it this year, and he's not very good. And a man that I have been lauding, Mads Manson, who I said I wanted to Chelsea last season when he was at Leicester, has been absolutely terrible.
Awful. He was awful in that game.
It was shocking. Some of the crosses that he tried to
flapping
for and he was flapping at, but it was really eye-opening. And sometimes you can't legislate for that as manager. What can you do if your goalkeeper's doing that? You've given away 3 goals from set pieces because of your goalkeeper.
He shouldn't have thrown the goalkeeper straight in, should he? Should have kept Areola in goal. That's what he can legislate for. Just chucking a new keeper straight in. But so far, like this section, he's not wrong. The Moyes thing was drastically wrong. But the rest, he's been all right so far.
I don't think he's got very long in the job, and I think it's going to be very difficult for him to turn things around.
Going back to David Moyes and West Ham, Matisse, where does the blame lie? Because Graham Potter's record there isn't great, but you look at the business they've done this summer.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. Like, that scored on paper for a ball was kicked just didn't look strong enough.
No.
Have you got a little bit of sympathy for Graham Potter in that respect?
Now, I was on Matisse's channel every single week during the Moyes era. He heard me, talking about Moyes, obviously praising him where credit was due, talking about the problems. We've been doing content for years. Let's see if any of that has sunk in. If he's picked up on the things that I've been saying to him over the years. Let's see Matisse's take now.
He's not been back this summer for sure, so I do feel for him in that respect because it does feel like everything's on a downward trajectory. But I agree with Kweku. I don't think the fit is right. I just feel like with Graham Potter, at least
what is the right fit then, do you think, at West Ham? Because apparently David Moyes wasn't the right fit.
Exactly, yeah.
When Lopetegui came in, they never really took to him. What is the right fit for West Ham? What do West Ham want?
I feel like an Ange Postecoglou is probably what they want as a fan base. Someone that is maybe
finished 17th last season.
They did exactly, and that's the thing with West Ham is it does become a be careful what you wish for situation because I think they want to play a certain brand of football. West Ham fans, I feel like from what I can hear and see, is they want to be entertained. They're in that new stadium. It's a massive contrast from Upton Park. They don't feel as intertwined or as connected to that stadium. So if you're going to bridge that gap, you need good entertaining football, good attacking football. And that's obviously something that David Moyes didn't really brought to the table. So I feel like they need a manager of personality. Ange Postecoglou's got...
Let me just talk to this on, just interrupted Matisse there. Some of the things he's saying is not wrong, right? Here's the thing. We can take... more pragmatic football, defensive football, if it's successful. So while Moyes was successful, we was tolerating the football. I wasn't really complaining about the football when we were winning. When you're not winning, and I said it time and time again, it is unbearable playing that type of football. Unbearable. And to play that type of football, defensive, boring, pragmatic football, and lose 5s, 6s every single week, it is unacceptable. It's not like we're sitting there, 6th in the league, playing Moyes ball, and we're going, this is crap. Get him out and get me an attacking man. This is how that it's being presented. That we were just unhappy with the football, and we just wanted him out regardless. That's not the case. If we're going to be a team that isn't successful, and we are down it, and we might as well play good football. Moyes ball, initially, like the counter-attack with that season with Lingard and everything, I didn't mind it. It was direct. We didn't see a lot of the ball a lot of games, but when we had the ball, what we did with it was good, right? Then this slow build-up, sideways, backwards passing started under Moyes. He went into that, and that's probably to do with the players that we've got, but he's part of that recruitment. And it's continued to Lopetegui and it continued to Potter. Of course, we want to be entertained. That's what we go to football. That's what we watch football for, to enjoy it. If you can win, great. But if you're not playing entertaining football and you're not winning, then we have no time for you. It's as simple as that. We're not going to sit there and suffer boring football and losing every week. It's as simple as that. That's the patience for you is going to be a lot less than someone losing but actually going out and attacking. That's just how it is. We're not sitting here and saying, oh, you win the league, but you're playing pragmatic football. We're just not having you. It's a nonsense. It's an absolute nonsense. Let's get back to this.
You need good entertaining football, good attacking football, and that's obviously something that David Moyes didn't really brought to the table. So I feel like they need a manager of personality. Ange Postecoglou's got the personality for sure. They always want someone to just be flary and kind of be fun to watch. And I think that's what they want. I think that's what they.
The idea of this West Ham way is it's a fugazi. It's a fallacy. It doesn't exist. This thing and it annoys me because it's like, yo, be careful what you wish for. David Moyes is an established Premier League manager. Fair enough.
Shut up with the be careful what you wish for. I'm so sick of that phrase. I'm sick of it. Honestly. Never, ever be careful what you wish for. Dream, try and fail and try again. Have ambition. Never be careful what you wish for. Don't just be happy to just be there. I want my team to have ambition. I want my team to try to progress and improve. We've got Sullivan, so that's going to be very hard. But you could say, well, they want Sullivan out, and then they get Sullivan out, and then they get relegated. Be careful what you wish for. No! That is not how it works. Better to try and fail than never try at all. What is the point if you're just there to exist? I am so sick of that phrase. Be careful what you wish for. It's so lazy. No disrespect to Kweku, but shut up with that, man.
You might not be off your seat every single time your team takes to the field, but you're in European semi-finals. You're in European finals. You're finishing the top 6 and 7 in the Premier League.
European winner.
It's honestly,
we wasn't complaining then.
And again, this is where maybe my big team bias comes into it. If you are Arsenal or you're Liverpool or Manchester United, winning is obviously the priority, but the way you win and the way you play football is also a consideration. If you're West Ham, unfortunately, you're not afforded that luxury. You take it how you can get it. You win how you can win. And I get that you in the past
winning.
Of the academy.
We wasn't winning. I'm getting triggered here by a recording. We wasn't winning. Do you think we was winning, playing crap football and complaining? No. Yes, there was the Fulham game and things like that where we was just generally awful. But when we was winning week to week, when we was up there in the top 4 race and in Europe, do you think we were sitting there going, well, this is crap, we're not winning? It's so... And why do they never get me on with these people when they're talking about this? I go on there, every time I go on TalkSport, they're so nice and agreeable. I never get this nonsense that I can challenge. Just say it to me. Someone come on, get me on there and say this nonsense to me because I want to hear it because I am so sick of this narrative. I'm so... We're 4 minutes into this video. There's 6 minutes left. Oh, my God. Kweku, man, you're killing me.
You win how you can win. And I get that you, in the past, because of the academy of football, because of some of the players you produce, you want to play football, a certain type of football, a certain brand of football. But unfortunately, the type of football you want to play might be in the Championship because you got rid of David Moyes. You are one of the most vulnerable teams in the Premier League, had a terrible transfer window. Your fans aren't convinced by the owner, and you got a manager that doesn't fit the football club. I think this idea of playing football a certain type of way, when you're a team that could be at risk of getting relegated if you have a couple bad transfer windows, is an idiotic idea.
And at risk of being relegated, they've shortened dramatically in the betting to be relegated into 13-8 after the result on Friday. That means they're getting closer and closer to the 3 promoted teams in terms of odds. And got Forest away, haven't they, before the international break? You could get something out of that, but they're looking down the barrel of being pointless going into the international break. Suddenly you've gone 3 games, no points on the board at all. All the promoted teams have got points on the board so far. And then you come back for the international break, you've got Tottenham. And if Tottenham are playing anything like the way they're playing now in a couple of weeks, that could be...
Why are the fans under trial? Why are the fans being roasted and called out more than the ownership? I see one thing of we're not convinced by the owner, which is putting it very mildly. Where is the... listen, obviously I'm halfway through the video, but where is the smoke for David Sullivan on this show? Where is it? All of this is under his watch. Why is it our fault? Why is it fans' fault for wanting to enjoy watching their team play football? Why are we being villainized? If that's even a word. Why are we the bad guys for wanting to see our team play well? And David Sullivan's not the bad guy for not backing managers.
Ball games without points. Yeah. Then it starts to get really tricky whether you keep the manager or not. Then you're really looking up at everyone else on the table, aren't you? Which is worrying for West Ham.
I think the one thing that they have that kind of veers me away from a relegation for them is Jared Bowen. I just think he's got far too much quality and he gets far too much output and too much goals for them to be relegated with him in that team. I think the manager for sure is definitely up for question if they do go on that run that you're kind of describing, this 3, 4, 5 games. But with someone like that in the team, I think that's a kind of quality down there. You saw it with Matheus Cunha last season. That's the kind of quality down there that stands out and kind of puts you apart from the rest, I think.
Yeah. Kweku, Matisse said, I asked Matisse who what is the right fit? He said Ange Postecoglou. Could you see that? Could you see Ange, the new West Ham manager?
I could see it. I wouldn't.
But it doesn't feel you particularly.
I wouldn't go for it.
If you're Ange or West Ham or both.
Both. this right now, this is a firefighting situation. This is not I'm come to instill my style.
More like a Sean Dyche kind of situation, perhaps.
It's a Nuno Espirito Santo kind of situation where you are an adaptable manager. Not saying that you're pragmatic, not saying that you're boring, but you're adaptable. Ange didn't come across as the most adaptable kind of guy. It was my way or the highway. Towards the end of last season, he did it to win a trophy, but really and truly, he wants to come play football his way.
Do you know what? Yeah, Kweku, he's kind of spot on there in a way. Listen, I would just, if we're going to go down, let's go down in a blaze of glory and get Ange Postecoglou. That's my attitude, right? But it's 2 games in, right? It's too early to talk about firefighting Sean Dyche. We're 2 games in. Nuno, like I said, an adaptable manager, Thomas Frank and Nuno. I'm not saying we're going to get Thomas Frank. He's obviously at Spurs now. But a manager that can adapt. That's what we've wanted. The thing is with Moyes, one of the big complaints is he played the same way whether we played Man City or Burnley, right? That was the issue. We never got to flex our muscles and be the team on the front foot. We struggled to break teams down that did part the bus against us because we didn't have that ability to break them down. And that's the issue. That was a lack of adaptability there. It was one way. And same with Lopetegui, and it's simply the same with Potter, right? It's like, this is it. We've got one plan A, and nothing else. So if Nuno does get sacked, jump on it. Again, manager-wise, I'm at a stage where it's just like, it doesn't really matter because it's Sullivan. The manager isn't the issue. It's the owner. So I can't sit there and go, if we get this manager, we can dream, we can believe, because of Sullivan.
Is there enough quality in that team to make sure they finish 17th or above?
Yeah, this is a West Ham team that if they don't turn things around quickly and they continue to lose games in the manner they've lost games, it's going to be hard to turn things around because this is a very competitive Premier League. Like you mentioned, Leeds and Sunderland spent big. Look at Sunderland's transfer window in comparison to West Ham's.
Yeah.
Mad. And this is the West Ham team that won the European trophy.
And all 3 promotion teams already getting off with 2 victories in the first 2 games.
Who's to blame for our transfer window? Is it the fans? Are we to blame for not having a transfer window as good as Leeds? Is it Graham Potter? I feel like there's a name missing here, and it's David Sullivan. It goes back to him. We still have time in his transfer window. We're not dead and buried yet. We'll see what we get in. Apparently, the owners are taking over transfers as if they were hands off, and they're just going to sign players. Like Sullivan's just going to get players in, Brownie or whatever. He just wants bodies in, and this has been the problem time and time again at this football club. Shout out to Kweku and Matisse. There's a lot of things that they said that were right, that they got. It's hard to go on and to talk about teams you don't follow every week, but the be careful what you wish for narrative nonsense has to stop. The revisionism of the last season under Moyes has to stop. We can sit there and say, Moyes, he did a good job at West Ham overall. And he left, and he's got that as his legacy. But let's stop pushing this idea that we were 5th and 6th and 7th and fighting for Europe and semi-finals, and West Ham fans wanted him out. I've always said that if you're going to play that type of football, you must win. That's it. And, what's the point? If you're going to lose playing crap football, what is the point of even watching? What's the point of turning up? That's my thing. So listen, no you know, still got love for Matisse. You know, Kweku, like, yeah, they both come out with some good points, but that thing just drives me mad. It's a fan. Football was always something people would watch for enjoyment, for entertainment, and it's just gotten so bad in general. I did a video why I gave up my season ticket, and the football thing is something that I really spoke about, and it's not just a West Ham issue. Everyone wants to be Pep, and that's why we've got this keeper to play out from the back and build up nice and slow, pass it round the centre backs, and this all started under Moyes. I would love to have a conversation on there with Kweku and Matisse and tell them why they're wrong. But a lot of revisionism there. So shout out to those guys. And thank you for watching. We're going to come up with more content. And if you like this, maybe we'll react to some more stuff. You can always put in the comments and bring stuff to my attention you want me to react to. So cheers.